Hi there and welcome to this webinar, Support Edition. Just to give you a quick run through what we'll cover today. First we'll be going through some of the most common questions we get on support, and then we'll be moving on to the questions we receive from you guys. So to start with, let's do a little introduction. I'm James, I work as the Customer Support Manager here at Radio.co. Alongside me I've got my colleague Reece, who's our Customer Support Technician. Okay Reece, do you want to tell the viewers about what topics we'll be discussing today?
Thanks for that introduction, James. So today we'll be discussing the following areas of Radio.co: the new restart functionality within the Radio.co dashboard, recording live DJ events, talk shows, taking live callers, track editor, and of course we're going to give a little sneak peek at the much anticipated new Radio.co apps. Once we've got through the above, we'll also be taking questions from you guys, so stay tuned.
So let's get started with the new restart functionality within the Radio.co dashboard. On the dashboard, if you click the on-air toggle, you'll now see two options, which are turn off and restart. Now, turn off works as usual, where it'll shut down the station but pause all the processes running on your station rather than restarting them. However, the restart button will restart all the processes, which is more along the lines of a hard reboot. This is ideal when your station is facing operation issues such as track skipping or the stream falling silent. We recommend using the turn off option for normal operations and reserving the restart operation for times when the station becomes unresponsive or there's a critical issue.
So let's cover recording live DJ events. Before we go ahead, just to note that this is a feature that is only available on the bronze plan and above. To record a live DJ event, you want to sign into Radio.co and select schedule on the left side menu. Once you've done this, you want to go ahead and schedule a live DJ event. When you do this, select Advanced. For the Record Broadcast toggle, select On. When you do this, please check the storage allowance remaining on the dashboard to ensure that there's enough space for the recording to save. Recordings are saved at 128 kilobits per second, which means each hour of recording would take up about 60 megabytes in storage. When the recording has taken place, it can take a short amount of time for the file to be processed. However, it will eventually show in the media recordings file. Please note that the file name will show the event time in British summertime, as it logs the time the recording was saved on your station server. If you would then like to add this recording to a playlist for future broadcasts, you can do so by heading to Playlist, Edit, then selecting the Recordings tab.
Thanks Reece. A common theme we often see on support is how to set up a talk show. So let's talk through this now. So what is the Radio.co talk show feature? Well, basically it's a way to create a collaborative talk show directly within your dashboard. Simply create a show and share your link with participants. Once everyone has joined, you can brief them directly in Radio.co, then record your show when ready. Completed talks will be available in your media library for future scheduling on your station. Now, just a heads up, this feature is only available on the Gold or Pro plans. If you would wish to upgrade to one of these plans, you can do so in Settings, Billing, Change Plan. To get started, head to Media, then Talk Shows in your dashboard menu. Then click the green New Talk Show button at the top of the page. You can create a talk show by pressing a New Talk Show. In the pop-up, you can add artwork to your show, a title and artist. This will then be used as the show's track information once complete. If you click the green Create button to add your show to your station, this will appear under Pending Talks. Now for the fun part. To invite guests, you can share the visitor URL with them. When you're ready to begin your talk show recording session, click Start Session. Just to be aware, the maximum number of guests you can have on your talk show is 4. Once you have started the session, your recording window will appear. Here you can choose your microphone device and see the status of any callers. When a guest calls, you can answer by clicking the phone button on the right hand side. Something to be aware of, when answering, new guests will be muted by default, so make sure you click the mute/unmute button to make sure you can hear them. Once your guests are connected, you can begin recording. Just go ahead and click the record button. Your show can be a maximum of 1 hour long. This is displayed on the countdown timer. Once you have finished recording your show, click the stop button, and then once you are happy with the recording, click the green save button to make sure all changes are saved. Your talk show may take a few minutes to process. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. Once complete, it will appear under completed talks in your media library.
Not too long now until we give you a first look at our new mobile apps. But before we do, let's quickly cover another common topic we see on support, and that is the track editor. So what is the track editor? Well, as the name suggests, It allows you to edit tracks you've uploaded to Radio.co. The type of edits you can make include adjusting the fade and cue points, as well as changing track metadata and artwork. Now, before we get started, I just need to let you know, the track editor is only available on the bronze plan and above. If you head to the track section on Radio.co, then select Actions, you'll be able to click Track Editor. This will load up the track editor, starting with the artwork. When you upload a track to Radio.co, we'll send the metadata to Apple Music in order to obtain the closest match artwork. On some occasions, the artwork we receive may be incorrect and you'll want to change this. To upload custom artwork, click the camera icon, then select Custom, choose a file from your computer, ensuring it is at least 600 by 600 pixels and in JPEG format or PNG. If you'd like to have no artwork, remove it by selecting the camera icon and choosing either None or Default. To edit the track title, artist or album name, select the field and a text field will appear. Now to tweak the fade and cue points. Zoom in and out of the waveform by using the plus and minus buttons. Both give you an overview and closer look at the track's waveform. Adjust when the track should start and end by sliding the cue in handles. Same goes for fades. Move the top of the handles for shorter or longer fade in and out times. Track cue points and fade changes will override your station's default settings for the particular track. So make sure you're happy with the edit by previewing using the play and reset controls. When you're happy with the changes, click the green Save button for the changes to be saved.
Thanks, Reece. Very interesting. So now for the part you've all been waiting for, the sneak preview of the new Radio.co apps. If you have a look now, you'll see the main screen, and if you have a look on the screen coming up here, you will see the player. So you'll see the artwork, metadata, and where you can start and stop the stream. Now obviously it looks a lot more fluent than the current apps we've got, and you can see where you've got the request a track feature. You can request tracks within the application and it'll work like the request feature in Radio.co. You can also message stations and email, text, WhatsApp, etc. through the drop down, and you can also explore more about your radio station, such as on Facebook, YouTube, and so on. You've got the schedule coming up here now, and you can scroll between the week and you can see all the events which are coming on, a bit like the schedule widget you've got in Radio.co. And you can also play podcasts on demand within the application. You can also go into settings, you can set a deep timer like with the current apps, and you can also set audio options like app play on launch and enable dynamic stream, which allows you to request a lower quality signal when on mobile data. There's also dark and light mode. As you can see, we've just moved over to dark mode here, and again it looks very nice, the applications, and you've got all your artwork and metadata as you'd expect. So I hope you've enjoyed the little sneak peek preview of our new Radio.co applications. We're hoping to get these out towards the end of April to our selected beta testers.
Now, let's move on to the questions you've all got for us.
And for the first question we've had from JJ at Met Sound. Thank you very much for your question, and your question is, can you start a radio station from home? Now the beauty of Radio.co is it is a completely cloud-based system, so you no longer need the infrastructure you would have needed with your FM and DAB radio stations. That means that you can simply create a radio station from home. It's very simple to do so. All you really need is a computer and an internet connection. That is literally everything you need, JJ, to get started with Radio.co from home. Now that should cover you for normal day-to-day operations, JJ. However, as you progress, you may want to start broadcasting live from home as well. In that case, you would be looking at getting a broadcaster application on your computer. Again, it's free. You can get a wide variety of applications such as broadcast using this tool and the Radio.co broadcaster, depending on which operating system you're using. But also you may want to invest in a microphone. Now, at start, I recommend a USB microphone. You can pick one up for a couple of dollars. Obviously, as you progress further and you're wanting the better sound quality, or better audio quality, I should say, you'll probably want to start looking at more expensive microphones which use the XLR connection. They connect directly to a mixer, such as what we've got on our desk here today, and that would obviously just offer you that higher sound quality. However, obviously they do become more expensive. But long story short, JJ, really all you need to broadcast from home at the start is a computer and an internet connection, and obviously a Radio.co subscription. So thank you very much for your question there. Now Reece, do you want to just pick another one of the questions we've had from the viewers?
So moving on to the next question from Charles from CM Radio. He has asked, is it a copyright infringement to play background music using Facebook Live on your radio show? So yes, Charles, that is copyright infringement. We do suggest that anybody broadcasting through Radio.co does get themselves the required licensing. So for this, we do have a guide which we will link down below in the comments, which does go through all of the different licensing bodies throughout the different countries.
So next question we've got is from Bobby Jennings. What type of equipment will I need? As I was just saying to JJ earlier on, with Radio.co itself, obviously it's all cloud-based, which is brilliant because you don't need the infrastructure you used to need with the FM and DAB, like your transmitters, etc. So in essence, all you really need, if we're taking it back to bare bones, is a computer and an internet connection. As long as you've got an internet connection and a computer, you can sign on to Radio.co, you can upload music, and obviously you can run automation 24/7 if you want to. You've got your radio station there and then. So Bobby's second question is, what is the startup cost? Now it varies between $29 for the light plan and $179 for the pro plan. Obviously a lot of stations, what they tend to do is start on the light plan, see what they require, and then you can upgrade within your plan. So if I started a radio station today on the light plan at $29, I could then upgrade to bronze, silver, gold or pro within my current month, and it would upgrade instantaneously. So again, like I say, you're probably best starting off on light plan and upgrading as you go on. And Bobby's third question was, how much time and commitment is necessary for the success of the radio station? And I'll be honest with you, Bobby, there's not really a definite answer I can provide you for that. It completely depends on what your aims are for the station. If it's more music based, obviously the automation can manage a lot of that. Obviously if you're wanting to go live a lot, that's going to be more time consuming. So long story short, Bobby, unfortunately I can't give you a specific answer because it does really depend on what your aims are with that station. But thank you very much for your question.
So the next question we've had in is from Phil at KCCT. The question is, how much content do I need to keep my station running between the live shows? So Phil, that is completely up to you. We do not have a particular number on how much content you need to have in between live shows. It depends how you would like your station to automate between the live shows. So you can have one track in between, making up a playlist in between each live show, which could be an hour-long track, and that could be playing in between, or you could have a playlist that is made up with tags and music in there as well, which that would format how it's playing in between the live shows. So that is completely how you would like your radio station to sound, Phil.
Thank you very much, Reece. So the next question we've had is from Kevin, and the question is why sometimes when I am live my playlist cuts in and out. Now the answer to that is most likely network issues. So basically how it works, Kevin, is when you're broadcasting live, your broadcasting PC is sending data packets, and that data is being sent to your station server. Now, if we keep losing connection to your computer, then data packets can't be received by the station server. Obviously, we then don't know what we're going to be playing because obviously the live audio which is in these data packets is not being sent over. So we're going to fall back to Radio.co automation. And that is simply so we don't have just dead silence on the network. So obviously we'll fall back to the playlist, which is on the automation, and then when we've re-established a connection, we will then reconnect back to your live event. Obviously, that's what's happening in the back end. So listeners, all they're hearing is obviously you losing connection, falling back to automation, and then falling back to live, back to automation, back to live, and so on and so forth. So that is pretty much the issue. Now, obviously, ways to mitigate the chance of this happening. First thing is make sure you use an Ethernet connection. So between the router and your broadcasting PC, an Ethernet connection is a lot more stable than Wi-Fi. It's a lot less susceptible to interference. So if you're in an area of poor network connection, it might be worth also trying to reduce the stream bitrate. You can do this in Radio.co by going to Settings, Broadcast, and at the bottom you can change the bitrate there, the stream bitrate. And obviously you'll also have to do it in your broadcaster. Depending on which broadcaster you have, obviously there'll be different areas you'd need to enter this. But if you have a look through our help centre, search the broadcaster you're using. If we've got a help guide on it, it'll tell you how to change the bitrate in there. Alternatively, if we haven't got a help guide on it, obviously have a look at the manufacturer's guide for more information.
And the last question we have in is from Charles at Black Achievement Radio Network. And his question is, may I create a network of stations on the same platform/dashboard? And that is a great question, Charles. And for this, we have a guide, which I will link in the comment section below. And just to note with that one, if you have 3 stations or more, we do offer a 10% discount for that. So that is always a good thing, eh? And guys, that is everything for today. So thank you all for listening, and that is all from me.
And yes, from me as well, thank you very much for your time today. We've really thoroughly enjoyed doing this webinar for you. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact us at help@radio.co.
And just before you go, how would you like to launch your very own online radio station? Surprisingly, it's a lot easier than you may think. And the absolute best way to get started is by chatting to myself or another member of the Radio.co team. Just head to radio.co/book a demo to schedule a video call with us, where we'll discuss your plans, answer your questions, and of course guide you around the software. Or click on the link here to take your first step into launching your very own 24/7 global radio station.